Every month with him at our nation meetings. He is an Arbonne MVP partner. He is the top producing real estate agent in the top 1% of New Jersey agents. And before I keep going, I have to tell you, Joe said to me before, he's like, did you memorize the bios? Like, really, Joe? Like, no, they're in my notebook. So he slips me a piece of paper. He's like, did you add this to my bio? So he has produced and directed the screenplay, which is now a full motion picture that is in the last stages of production, called Vinny, Mostly a True Story. He has started his production company, Vinnywood Pictures. He has created a foundation for post-traumatic stress disorder. And last but not least, he is a talented, and I interjected that bit, he did not say that about himself, musician and composer. He's always been a big supporter of mine. And I'm sure you're just excited as I am to hear his words of wisdom. So please welcome up to the stage, Joseph Marascio.
Because this mic's just for harmonica. Whoa. Thank you. I guess I'll need this clicker. Welcome everybody. And I'm very excited to be here today. I'm Joe Marascio, MVP partner. And taking hold of success. This is what my little speech is on today. There was a young man, and he wanted to make a lot of money. So he went to a guru. So he said to the guru, I want to be on the same level you're on. Can you make me successful? And he said, you want to be on my level? He's like, yeah, I want to be on your level. He said, okay, come to the beach tomorrow, 5 a.m. So, the young man gets ready, gets his suit on, he's ready to rock and roll. 5 a.m. he's at the beach. He should have wore shorts. I don't know what he's got a suit on for. The guru's there, he says, young man, you really want to be successful, huh? He said, yeah, I want to be successful. He's like, well, how bad do you want it? He said, I want it real bad. So he said, well, get in the ocean. Come on, I'll go with you. So now the young man's in the water is about up to his waist. He says, this old man is nuts. He's like, I don't want to be a lifeguard. I don't want to swim in. I want to make some money. So he says, you want to make some money? Come on out a little bit further. So he comes out now the water's up around his shoulders. He says, this guy's crazy. I mean, he can make some money, but I'm out in the ocean. He's like, young man, you want to make some money? You want to be successful? You want to be on my level? Come out a little bit further. So he comes out a little bit further in the ocean. Now the water's around his mouth. He says, I'm going back in. This is it. He said, you said you want to be on my level. He said, come out a little bit further. So now, he's out in the ocean. The water's bobbing up by his head. The old man grabs his head, sticks his head down under the water. He's holding him down. Now, my man, he can't breathe. He's fighting, he's scratching, trying to get up. The old man's holding him down, holding him down. My man's about to pass out. The old man lifts him up. He goes, I got to ask you a question. He said, you got to ask me a question. He's like, I'm drowning out here. He said, when you want to be successful as much as you want to breathe, you're going to be successful. Now, I don't know how many of you ever had an asthma attack. I don't know. But when you have an asthma attack, you can't breathe. You don't care about reading a book. You don't care about watching TV. You don't care about going to a party. You don't care about nothing. Period. The only thing you care about is getting a fresh breath of air. And when you want success, as bad as you want to breathe, you're going to be successful. You know, when I wrote this training, I said, you know what, maybe it's a little hard, it's a little tough. I don't always philosophical, spiritual. This ain't tough. This is really easy because when you think about it, breathing is an ordinary drive. It's just an instinct. It's just identifying how that drive is to go to work every day, make dinner. It's such a slight shift to success. It's outrageous. You see, most people, they say they want to be successful. But they don't really want it that bad. They just kind of want it. They want to look cool. They want to hang out. They don't want success. Most people would rather sleep than have success. Most people love to sleep than have success. Which is a little wacky. Sleep, it's overrated. Sleep when you're successful. That's what I got to say about that. You know, you got to be willing sometimes to work on 3 hours sleep. You got to be willing to sometimes stay up 3 days, because if you don't stay up 3 days, you're going to miss the opportunity to be successful. Sometimes you got to forget about eating to be successful. Okay? They talked to Beyonce. They interviewed her, and she said one time she was in the studio for 3 days, and she forgot to eat. You know, I've been doing some research on different people that produced their own movie and wrote the soundtrack, and I found this rapper named 50 Cent. All right? And you know what? He's something else. They said to him, they said, "What do you do when you're not making the movie?" He's like, "I'm writing the soundtrack." They're like, "Well, when do you sleep, 50? He said, "Sleep are for those people that don't make any money." He goes, "I want to make some money. What do you need to sleep for? I'm already in paid. I'm not quitting. I want a reward. I'll sleep when I'm successful." You see, I study a lot of successful people. Because I only want to do things one time. Why work and do it twice? Why do it twice and go through all the pain? And you want that reward. You see, successful people, they don't look at the day as a day. They don't measure when they want to make an achievement by the days. They go by the hours. You've got 24 hours in a day. So you sleep for 8 hours. Now you got 16 hours to be successful. Now you can talk on the telephone 2 hours. A lot of people don't understand. Talk on the telephone 2 hours, you got to understand what's income-producing activity. Okay, what part of that phone call is. See, the telephone, to me, there's no redeemable value in the telephone unless you're closing. And that's not a hard thing to do. So, now you go, you got TV time, you got family time, you got this, you got that. Now you got 4 hours. 4 hours to be successful in that day. Let me tell you what, if you think you'd be successful in 4 hours, you're not going to be successful in 4 hours. There's never been anyone that got success by chance. It's not a haphazard event. You see, success is deliberate and it's intentional. No one's just blown up with success by chance. I wish it was that easy. You know, I don't compare, the lottery's a different story. But don't give up. Look up, stand up, and don't quit. Don't let anyone tell you you can't do something. It's not about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep going forward. How much you can take and keep going forward. All right? It's about being willing to take the hits and keep going forward. Don't quit. It's not that hard. It's as easy as breathing. We're all breathing. We're not even thinking about it right now. You know, sometimes it's simple. Sometimes you see the successful people and you're like, that's a moron. don't make it so easy. I mean, don't make it so difficult. We'll do a little programming with the clicker. I hate this clicker. You know, before we do that, oh, so, you think it's that easy? You think it's that easy that the young man met the old man in the morning, and that's how he got success? That's the secret. Or, you let the old man hold his head under the water, and he realized that he wanted success so bad as he wanted to breathe. That's the secret. Let me tell you what, that one moment in time, that's not what's going to make dream a reality. That's that one event is not going to make you stand among the greats. That's when it just gets started. That's when, there's a clicker again. That's when it's time to redefine the grind. That's when it's time to pay life's full fare. That's where you earn your spot with effort, blood, sweat, tears. Guess what? You want success as bad as you want to breathe? It's showtime. It's examination time.
Yeah.
It's time to get tested. It's time to find your endurance, to test your heart, to test your limits. It's time to reinvent yourself. It's about gaining the competitive edge. It's about separation. It's about separating yourself from the pack. It's about separating yourself from the ordinary. It's about being a little bit faster. It's about being a little bit stronger. You can't afford to make excuses for failure. You really can't. You got family, you got a team. When it's harder than you thought it would be, harder than you can imagine, when it takes longer than you thought it would, when you thought you couldn't bear anymore, when you want to give up, when you want to give in, when you give it all you got, you take one more step.
Yeah.
You run one more lap.
Yeah.
You throw one more punch. You fight back. You fight a little harder. You defeat disappointments. You annihilate weakness. You punish the competition. You push yourself beyond limits.
Yep.
It's about perfecting the you. It's not just doing more. It's not just being better. You defy every fear. Defy every mountain. Defy every obstacle. One step at a time. One day at a time. Until only you are left standing and no one's in your way. And you reach the top. Right? That's what it's about. Plain and simple. And it's not hard. You keep breathing. And I want to thank National Vice President Carrie Zoumas for having me speak today. And thanks for listening.